we were doing, I think, V for Vendetta, and Natalie Portman was on set, and Natalie was reading the book, and was just so riveted by it that eventually I think it went to Lana and then to Andy and then to myself, and we all loved it, you know, as a piece of literature. But, you know, the unfilmable part of it crossed everybody's mind, I think.
In the summer of 2008, I remember reading the novel. And since then, we had the time to think about it and be scared or not. But we had just done Perfume with Tom, and we had composed the music before the film was shot there, too. It was even a longer process than that. There, we were really, really scared because we were pushing the boundaries of our abilities quite a bit. But after having completed that successfully, I think our confidence was a lot higher.
Run All the Run was big, and Matrix was hip. And I knew Andrew Mason, who's one of the producers on the Australian front of Matrix. And I thought, maybe a doorway into meeting these guys is getting Tom to write a letter saying, we'd love to do a piece for your latest edition of Matrix. And Tom loved the idea, so Tom wrote an email, sent it to Andrew Mason. Andrew Mason passed it on to the Wachowskis, and of course, they loved Tom, or Run Lola Run. So next minute, we're all on planes flying to LA.
All directors are different, and they have different sort of strengths and different weaknesses and different perspectives. And I think when Tom came aboard, he came at it from a slightly different direction, a different writing style. And when we sort of, in a sense, mashed the two sort of approaches, it sort of actually it cracked the nut.
Tom and Lana became extremely good friends, so I think there's a lot of trust with the Wachowskis for Tom on his decisions. Not saying they weren't involved in the music. They often came in, we'd sit there and play stuff, but they left Tom and us pretty much alone.
Warner's had originally brought it in for the Wachowskis, and we brought it out and said, well, all right, well, we're going to do this as an independent movie. And, you know, once we had the material, there's a sort of this great realization that, you know, that material and independent film doesn't quite go together. You know, we were very lucky. People responded to this material from all parts of the globe, and in the end, you know, that's part of the reason that we were able to do it, because we engaged partners and investors in many different places, and, you know, Warner Brothers always sort of standing in the corner there. So yeah, it was a long process.
And sometimes we write too many main themes, and this time we said, okay, this is an epic movie. We should rather think Lawrence of Arabia or, you know, Star Wars or something like that, and write themes, memorable themes. They needed to be there because the Cloud Atlas Sextet is actually a character in the book. Mm-hmm. It travels through time all the way through the stories. So it needed to be written. It's also on the screen. Frobisher plays it on the piano, plays it to airs, and it's omnipresent in the score. So we have essentially three main themes that we wrote in the spring of 2011. We already recorded with an orchestra in Leipzig in Germany and a choir. It was quite an elaborate demo production, so to speak. And then we came back to LA, and Johnny and I did extended versions of these pieces that already have ups and downs the way film score has, and that became the temp score for the film. So when the film was shot, they were playing the music on the set to the actors. They were the editors who were putting the assembly together, which was a 4-hour plus movie, used this music for temping, and then when we came to Berlin to do the final stretch, which was about 6 months long, we used our layouts from the year before, and of course complemented it and wrote stuff that was missing, structured it to the film, babysat the thing quite for a bit. So it's a very, very different process from your run-of-the-mill Hollywood movie, even if it's a big blockbuster movie.